We look at thousands of websites for inspiration before we enter the build and wireframing stage of a project. And I get asked so often, what does a good website in my industry look like? So I've actually taken the time to go through and look at the top 25 industries for the top rated, highest converting, and most trafficked websites and landing pages. But we have finance, tech, coaching, marketing, creative agencies, digital marketing tools, food and beverage, professional services, media, entertainment, pet care, nonprofit, and they have different things that make each of them effective. But the bottom line of what actually makes an effective website are three simple things. That's conversion and content audience fit. And we're going to break down how each of these industries does that and how that's manifested on your website. So let's go ahead and dive on in. I've put each of these designs with the links to them in a swipe file if you guys want to go through and don't want to watch me break down all of these. And if you want that file, just shoot a message and I'll send that to you. Okay, so the first website here we have is mint.com. And keeping in mind the incentives of every single industry, with finance and online money management, you really want to establish a trust factor. So how does Mint do that? So first of all, they have very clear calls to action, very clear navigation here at the top. They have, I'd imagine, what the ITC is and the photo product demonstration, keeping it very simple, good. And there are a few mistakes on this that I would think. I think it is a mistake to have, like, literally, look at this. This is a UI error right here. Look at that spacing. That's horrible. So there are mistakes even on the highest ranking websites. But in anything online finance, you want to have nice, clean layout, clean navigation, and establish trust with your audience. And Mint does that very well. Next up is tech and SaaS. The highest ranking site is Discord. So you want to be fun, approachable, clean. UI is a big component of software websites because users are just bombarded with great information nowadays, with great visuals, and you really have to stimulate and create a video game feel. And that's what Discord does very well. Group chat, that's all fun and games. Really speaking to your audience, selling the product, they're showing it in use right here on the landing page. Their main call to action is a download, and I love having it at the bottom like that because that is the main sort of thing that you associate with having any kind of a download. You see it at the bottom of your screen, so that's a good association right there. Clear navigation, nice and dark contrast for the background, great site in Discord. E-com and retail. Warby Parker has a very high ranking website for a couple of reasons. One is that they segment their audience very well from the get-go, browse men, browse women, and I would recommend any company or any business, if you have an e-commerce site, that's something that you should always do. Take the time to segment your audience right from the get-go, and there's a couple other sites on here that do that very well. But if you're an e-com, definitely do that. Perhaps the most important part of every e-commerce website is actually the navigation. So if you look up here, this is a drop-down mega menu, and especially with e-com stores that have a ton of products, navigation is just absolutely everything. And you really have to double down on this. We do in the site mapping and wireframing stage to think, okay, what are the categories of products and how do we segment the user to the right ones that they're looking for without it being an absolute mess? So this is really important, and Warby Parker does that very well. Next, we have Skillshare for education and e-learning. I really love Skillshare's website because it's very branded, and that's a big part of who they're trying to speak to. A lot of the target customers of Skillshare are creatives, are entrepreneurs, freelancers, people that have known a lot about building their own brand. They're always in tune to something like that, so they appreciate this a lot. It is a little bit busy in terms of the structure of their landing page, but it is designed with this principle in mind. So check this out. So this branding element is meant to direct your eyes from the main value prop to the visuals, and it guides your eyes with that scribble right there to the main call to action to put in your information. And you can see right away 7 free days, and they would do a really good job of having this sharp contrast color that guides your eyes through the page and to the main call to action. So Skillshare's got a great website, education and e-learning. Next, on to beauty and personal care. Having a very boutique, fancy website is what speaks to this target demographic, and Glossier does that well. I don't love how it's not very conversion optimized, but then again, you have to keep in mind the goals of the industry and what they're actually trying to accomplish here. is really trying to sell brand. They're trying to sell the vision. So full page layouts, even if there isn't a super high conversion rate, call to action. The biggest thing that they've got the check boxes on is their navigation, because they have online e-commerce. They have a call to action. I don't think it's a great design. Looks very outdated to me. But they sell the brand very well and they make it theirs. So that is beauty and personal care. Next is health and wellness. And this is a website called Bite, and there's a couple things that they do very well. So they appeal to the natural scenery of their target demographic. So they have the outdoors, they have the vibes, they display the product very clearly, great social proof with some of these brands and logos to the places they've been featured. I think something that they could do better is just contrast. Like, I can barely see some of the navigational elements. Even the main value prop is a little bit difficult to see. But this is the highest rated website for health and wellness, but it's important to keep in mind what they're trying to prioritize. They're really trying to sell the holistic, natural, outdoorsy colors and create that audience association with people that have this stuff on their radar, because people that use Bite are very clean. They're very in tune to that sense, and you can portray that on the website. They feel like they're in the right place, backed by the social proof. Then you can sell your users just by looking at their site. Next up, we have coaching. So Tony Robbins has a fantastic website, one of my favorites that I reference. So interactive, so many bringing him in tune with what it's like to be at his events. And that's what you're really going for as a coach, as a consultant. You're selling yourself. You're selling the experience of the conversation. And if you scroll through this website, it is very conversion optimized. So it has those boxes checked. It has a clear navigation and photos and videos. It's interactive. It's getting you to know Tony just from his online experience. And that's what you're trying to sell in a coaching site. Next up is marketing and creative agencies. Viral Loops is a referral program, and I love this site because of how simple and clean it is. And if you guys have seen any of our content on here, you know that's a big value prop to us. These are interactive navigational elements, clear calls to action, lots of contrast, very simple, showing the product in use, a little bit of branding, not too much, clear value prop from the front, social proof with the elements on the rankings, and then everything it includes in the bottom there. I love this. You might think this is very boring, but Viral Loops crushes it, and this is one of my favorites on this entire list, and they nail it for what they're trying to accomplish in their specific industry. Digital marketing tools, SEMrush. So if you think of a digital marketing company, what are they trying to appeal to? They want social proof. There's a million digital marketing products out there. There's a million SaaS products that you're trying to accomplish. So you have a very saturated industry. You need a little bit of branding in there, and SEMrush does this very well with their landing pages. They have great social proof. It's very conversion optimized, as you can say, and they have this is what's very important with a lot of digital marketing tools, having one very clear, specific differentiator, and that is get measurable results from online marketing. They're selling the outcome. What a lot of digital marketing products do is they focus on the product. They focus on so much of their own unique things that have gone into building it because they're enamored with this thing that they've spent so much time on, rather than the value that it actually adds to the end consumer. So SEMrush separates themselves from the pack by doing that very well. Next up, we have design and creative services. So what I love about this site is how well branded it is. And you have to think of the goals in the industry. So this isn't very conversion optimized, but they do check those boxes. But when you talk about a branded website, this is why it's ranked so high. It's Myers and Associates. It's because of this branding right here. And it sneak peeks to a little bit more of what some of their projects are and entices scroll. And it makes you want to uncover more, see some of their past work. And as you scroll through their homepage, their site is also very conversion optimized. So I encourage you guys to check this one out. And they also have their little teaser for a call to action here at the bottom. Next up is home and decor. So we have Rockwood's website here. They have a great, clear navigation, very clear value prop. Just the spacing on this one is really good. And they also showcase the product very well. That's really all the boxes you're trying to check in a home and decor website, is a balance of the photography, letting the element speak for itself, and also just balancing spacing and the general principles of design that allow users to navigate the site and actually get in touch with what your brand is. Legal and law websites. So these are big on social proof and appealing to a high, credible place in the customer's mind. Clean layout is so essential on legal and law websites. You want to make sure that you have that trustworthiness, that cleanliness, that professionalism. You can't say that word enough, professionalism, when you're talking about legal and law, because if you see anything sketchy, anything that looks like you're not checking all the boxes, people aren't going to want to do business with you. So very clean navigation, very clear call to action, great spacing, consistent branding, not a bunch of colors, a little bit of branding, with the greens and so forth. But they have not overwhelming banners or pop-ups or anything that could invite anxiety to the user. And they speak directly to their clients. Justice for you, your family, and your future. That's very enticing. And Motlock Law kills it. Okay, next up here we have Automotive. So we have Tesla as the highest ranked website in all of automotive. And this is just a textbook example of a brand-centric website. If you were to remove all the photos from the Tesla website, it would look so bare bones that it's ridiculous. But they do check all the boxes. Clean navigation, very enticing value prop from the front, $300 per month of leasing. View inventory, order now. So they've got plenty of contrast with the main call to action. But you're selling the dream. That's what they're trying to do with this product. And this landing page is, okay, this is our product. We believe in it. We know what brand we're trying to sell here. We've got beautiful photography. You want it, we do. So we're putting that front and center. Travel and tourism. So here we have Airbnb's website, and Airbnb pays their UI, UX, online development team more than the president makes. I know it's not saying much, but this is like, Airbnb has to be so well designed from a navigational standpoint, and that's what's important with any type of directory or booking website, is you have to nail your navigation. And Airbnb is just front and center. They are sort of the Hall of Fame for great UI and great navigational experiences. So they have amazing segmentation. It helps users guide them along the journey. They have clear search bars. It's so easy to kind of flip through and navigate. Everything's spaced very well. The icons explain. And they also don't overwhelm. So that's the biggest value of having perfect spacing on a website, is that you want to entice users to stay on there for a long period of time. And if users are bouncing off your site, if they're just confused, then it's going to be really hard for them or anyone to convert on your website. So having the basic boxes of good spacing, clean layout is very front and center with your travel website. Okay, so next up we have food and beverage. Blue Apron is the highest ranking one on this category, and here I can see why. So photography is very important because you really want to sell the outcome, and they nail it with a high-res photography on here. Everything's branded very well. I think Blue Apron. Very clear calls to action, and their main value props at the front. So as you'll see with a lot of these websites, there are just so many pop-ups, and that's one of the differentiators in a lot of these sites, is that they're able to do it in a non-distasteful way, okay? A lot of these aren't overwhelming, but they still add another call to action. They still add another attention element that you can dive into. And that's the balance with a lot of these websites, especially if there's unique offers. And by the way, I'm just so excited to see what kind of ads I get served up now after reviewing all of these 25 websites. That's a story for another day. But yeah, food and beverage, Blue Apron does a great job. Clear calls to action. See plans. They're making it very clear what they're trying to sell as soon as you land on their site. Okay, so next up we have fashion and apparel. We have ASOS, or ASOS. It can be either one, I think. But this is the core front and center. Navigating your users, speaking to your target demographic, and segmenting them right from the gate, right from the entrance of your online home. So you have two value props right here, but the biggest thing, front and center, shop men's, shop women's. You know exactly where you're going as soon as you land on the site, and I didn't mean to draw that phallic thing right there, sorry. But This is what you're trying to accomplish. You know right away as soon as you get on your website, you know right where to go. You can identify, oh, I'm a man, I'm a woman, I'm here to buy some clothes, let's go. You're bringing them right into the shopping experience, and you have the complementary image that supports each call to action. Great search bar up here on top, great segmentation, men, women, boom. Streamlined, to the point, good branding, minimal, not overwhelming. Okay, next up we have a non-profit website. So we have Charity Water here, and this is a prime example of simple converting effectiveness. So a donation form right above the fold on the home page, selling the outcome. If you think they're literally selling to their website visitors, this is what you're helping us do if you enter your information and you donate with us. Clear calls to action, give, and you know exactly what you're giving for because of that beautiful little icon right there. Yeah, I love this, and it has it's managed to even sneak in a value prop above the fold. Your $40 donation can give 12 people clean water every single year. So I think a good thing to even improve this is having like a whole crowd of people like this. I think like 12 people, your donation, this amount, is helping accomplish this for us. Next up, real estate. So we have Zillow, the highest ranking real estate website. Very clear navigational elements right here. Very clear that you're trying to get you to input your information. That gets you searching right away from the homepage. A little bit of branding. Everything that they offer. Very clear, simple value prop. I'm a big fan of that. That's something that we optimize for on a lot of our builds, is being very clear and direct with what people are getting when they land on the site. And they also tease the scroll right here with some overhanging images, a nice little carousel right there. And they're also great imagery with the outcome. So they're selling a couple right here. I imagine that's who they're trying to appeal to with a lot of their product and marketing. Great association. Think if you're a newlywed or if you're a couple, you're looking for a new house together, start a new life, you would resonate very hard with this website. So I love this. Real estate, those are the things you need to keep in mind. Okay, next up we have fitness and wellness. So Peloton, crushing the boat as always. Right away from their homepage, they have a background video. They're able to display their offers very well. Clear calls to action, ways that you can pay. Showing all their products while also showing the product in use is a really powerful element. I love how there's enough contrast on their nav to be able to see all of the unique offers that they have. Very dense drop-down menus, clear call to action, very clear value proposition. Get $1,000 off. That's something that could convert very well, I think, because and you think like a piece of treadmill equipment isn't exactly an impulse purchase, but a lot of their purchases are made through their website, so it has to be conversion optimized. When you think of fitness and wellness products like Peloton, you have to have a conversion optimized website. So having multiple places where people can go straight to seeing the products, entering the checkout sequence, minimizing that friction as much as you can is very top of mind for them. Okay, so the highest ranking professional service is Deloitte. Deloitte is a global marketing firm who does everything for everyone. So naturally, they're going to have a lot of traffic to their website and be highly ranked. So let's break down why it is actually effective. Okay, so this is a classic example of don't do too much and keep it simple, stupid. So a very clear call to action. I mean, their main call to action right now is to read an article. I don't know why that would be the highest priority for them. That's more of a content marketing decision and not a web design decision. But they prioritize their articles very well because that's what gets people into their email marketing loop, I'm guessing. That's how they convert their website viewers, so maybe that's a good strategy. But very simple, clean, and professional, clear navigation. They have a multimodal language features, clear search, a lot of contrast on that as well. Clear drop-downs, interactive, minimal branding, a lot of contrast. It works for them. Media and entertainment. So Netflix, a very viral website. It gets a lot of traffic because it is so simple, so conversion optimized. And as you scroll through this, it's a lot of the same. It's just value prop, call to action, value prop, call to action, same thing, rinse and repeat. But they've also done a very good job of branding. This sort of look is very bespoke to them, having all their titles sort of in the background with an overlay. Unlimited TVs, TV shows, and more starts at $7.99, cancel anytime. Straight to the point, knife to the heart, conversion, simple, a little bit of branding, not too much. And they also were careful enough to add a little bit of information, ready to watch or enter your email in case that wasn't clear enough from the get-go. But for media and entertainment, you want to reduce the friction that it takes for people to get started. And because they just want to dive into the content. They want to browse it for themselves. They want to interact and just get to watching and being entertained. So minimizing that and making that the forefront is very top of mind for Netflix. Okay, so kind of landing the plane here, we have Pet Care. So this is a well-branded website, and it's a great website for a lot of different reasons, and I'll kind of unpack this. So people that are coming to shop for their dogs, they want peace of mind. They don't want a super branded, they don't want a super modern, techie, awesome designed website that may be a little off-putting to them. So having dogs on the homepage, really selling them on the reason why they're there in the first place, is going to encourage them to spend more money. So having these photos of cats and dogs, super cute, super to the point, and also it's familiar. It's kind of like a mom and pop website. And I had this conversation with a client one time, is that you have to have that social awareness when you go in and design these things, because if you were to have a super modern, fancy, interactive site, there's so much value in going old-fashioned if those are the types of populations that you're trying to speak to, you know? So especially maybe older demographics, people that are a bit hesitant to online shop for something that they care about a lot, like their pets. You want to really be soft, approachable, have the product and photos be something that's very top of mind and accessible. So, and they even are able to make the product be in use by the dogs. So they're very much portraying the message of the dogs being the customers and not, you having to pay money. And they also check all the conversion optimized boxes, so clear search, clear filters for all their different product categories, and yeah, just a clean layout as well. Okay, so that is a breakdown of the 25 most. So this is our breakdown of the 25 highest converting, highest rated websites of every single industry. Like I said, if you want this swipe file, shoot me a message or click the link below in the comments and we'll get this over to you. Thank you guys for watching and see you next time.